Welcome back to SoxyNana's Visits with SoxyNana Alice, and I got lots to share with you today. I really enjoyed doing the video for making the yarn swift earlier, and it was kind of a catastrophe when it came to, using the phone as a camera and on the table. So I've had a little different setup now, and I've got some lighting. Hopefully it's working out a little better. And also, I'm going to try and use my old Apple iPhone. It's so old. It's like one of the originals. And I thought, you know what? Why not use it and see if it will work for these videos? And then I don't have to use my good phone. That's actually my main phone. So anyways, I still have to hook up this little thing here, which is my mic. And I'm thinking that maybe I'll invest in a mic and see how that works out. Anyways, hopefully you can hear me. And yeah, I got lots to share with you today because I promised I would share the dolls that I've been making. They're going out to Edmonton to my nieces, great nieces, I guess they are now. They call me Auntie Alice, so they're Walter's goddaughter and cousin's family. And yeah, so I'm going to be sending them out there. So I'll show those to you straight away. First, though, I wanted to show you what my turntable does look like when it's loaded with stuff. Oh my goodness. Look at this. See, that's what it normally looks like. It's got all my goodies on it. It's got all my stuff on it that I use for sewing. Because this is actually my sewing area. I do have the small home business called Needles to Pins I'm not working right now because of COVID. Because this little business of mine is in my basement, I don't want to, let people come down in here and, in case anybody catches it from us or we catch it from them, or COVID just sucks. Anyways, so that's what my turntable usually looks like. Now, what I was going to talk to you today, and this is for my grandkids too, is journaling your projects. My grandmother and my mom used to keep track of all their things that they loved to knit and crochet. And special patterns would end up in these old books. And I just totally treasure them now. I look at them again and again. There's even stuff in here that I made years ago as well. And my mom put in for boys' sizes and man sizes and the different sizes of needles. There used to be a boy needle, millward needle, and sail wool, and just little details about all the projects that she made and that I made as well are in here. They're very old. Oh, look, I even found, look at this. Oh, can you see that? It's an old embroidery pattern. Oh my, you iron these on. Actually, I gave these to my grandkids, to my granddaughter. I gave her a book with some in them. But yeah, inside here, there's all these little iron-ons, and you use white fabric. This is for tea towels. So I don't know if anybody would even do this anymore. I guess I could for fun. I used to make embroidered blankets years ago for my kids. And it says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, clean, bake, shop, and all the little kittens. And then you iron them onto the tea towel, one for each day of the week, and then you go ahead and you embroider them. And then you either keep them or you can give them as gifts. But oh my gosh, that is so cute. I actually used the kitten, I think one of these kittens, to put on my very first apron that I made. Years ago when I was about 10, I guess, I made an apron. And I embroidered some kittens on the front. So that just kind of turned up there in that book. That's pretty funny. What else we got here? Oh, wow. Easy booties, slipper crochet, socks on circular socks knitted in the round. Wow. And I actually printed that up onto paper. Look at that's how old that is. Child's hooded pullover. Oh, here's one. How to make a mobile picture hanger from coat hangers. Again, necessity is the mother of invention. My daycare kids years ago, we used to make mobiles out of coat hangers. I'll show you the picture there. That's pretty funny. Look at that. And then you put the coat hangers together, and then you can hang things from them. And it says how to, and I actually wrote out how to do it, what you needed, and hung on to that and saved that over the years if I needed to do something like that again. Yeah, so anyway, so journaling is really important when you're doing crafting. At least I feel it is. You can go back and you can see the different things that you made and different ways that you made them, who they were for. And you never know when this might come in handy. And not only that, it's just kind of interesting. It's a record of the past, a little bit of history. There, my mom was making my doll's clothes, and she put in the picture. It looks like it wasn't a pattern from a book. It was actually a pattern from a newspaper. And she cut it out and she glued it into this book and hung on to it because she did make quite a few doll clothes for my dolls, for my little dolls, and that's quite old. Oh, booties for babies and what have you. Oh, and look at, this is her first attempt at doing like a Fair Isle pattern. Okay, so she was going to do some hearts in Fair Isle on something. That's really nice. Yeah, so it's nice to see this stuff, and it's just nice to see my mom's handwriting again. And that was Grandma Maisie. She was my mom, and I miss her dearly. She passed away many years ago. And here's my daughter Laura, my oldest daughter, who's now going to be, I don't know, I won't say 40. Anyways, here's a pair of mittens I made. I guess my mom had traced her little hand in 1983, November 83, and she was going to make her a pair of mitts, and that's actually the year before she passed away. And here's one for my brother, sleeveless sweater, pullover vest. So, I mean, not like I'm ever going to make it again, but it's just really nice to just, look back at these old books. And this one's really falling apart. I mean, I guess I could actually get in here and tape it up, and we wrote out the whole pattern because we would borrow books from people and borrow their pattern books and write out the pattern because we weren't doing photocopies and there was no computers to take a picture or a phone to take a picture of it, so we had to write everything out, and that's really interesting. So I thought that was really cool. I really wanted to share that with you kids and you guys today. And just so I do the same thing still. And even though, this is just a book I picked up or whatever, and I like the coil books though much better. And here's Walter's plain socks and all the stitches and that I used for them and the gusset and when I turned the heel. And then that way too, I can go back and I can take a look when I'm making another pair of socks for him and see how I started off, and I don't have to go try and look up a pattern somewhere. It's right here. Oh, my friends, Desi got a pair, Dave, Becky, all these people that had, different things that I made for them. My daughter, I made her the Pride and Prejudice socks, beautiful socks from Finland. I believe she's from Finland, Nina, and I'll put the link to her information down there. I'm on her Facebook site and Facebook page, and she does amazing work, and we do some awesome knit-alongs. It's kind of difficult in the beginning. It was kind of difficult because everything's pretty much in Norwegian, but there's a couple of ladies on there that now go ahead and they translate, and they'll put the translations in for us on the knit-along. So that's a ton of fun. My favorite jelly roll socks that I got the pattern for, I'll put the link to that one as well in Ravelry. It's a beautiful little shorty knit pattern, and my partner's mom, she just loves these socks. I knit them actually with acrylic yarn for her because she wears them as slippers to bed, and they keep her feet so incredibly warm. And she doesn't like wool. She prefers the acrylic. And then, of course, in the back, I made a little pouch. I don't know if you can see that. I made a little pouch, and all I did was take a piece of the paper and tape it, and then I can keep my different little Fair Isle clips in there that I printed out so that I can take them with me if I'm going to go, traveling around in the car or whatever, or to the trailer, and I can just grab the one of these and off I go. I can do the pattern in the car. And actually, here's the ones I printed out. These were for that These are all the ones I've been doing for that Feral scarf that I showed you earlier. I don't know if you can see all those. Yeah, so that's the ones I found on Pinterest, and I just printed a bunch of them up, and it worked out really well that I can, all the different 6-row patterns, 7-row patterns, and they're just so fun to do and use up all that sock yarn. I can't stand wasting wool, that's for sure. So that's my little bit of a journal here too that I have. And oh, here's another one. Here's another cardboard. This one's actually a binder. And it's not so much about knitting, it's everything. It's got baking in it, and how to treat poison ivy. Oh my goodness, like this one looks like this could have been my mom's and my grandma's. It's not mine. Yeah, furniture polish, how to make it. 1 cup of turpentine, 1 cup of linseed oil, 1/4 of an ounce to 1 ounce of vinegar. Now that's, wow. Holy cow. That's pretty potent for furniture polish. Money savers, mouthwash, a glass full of warm water with 1/2 teaspoon of common table salt and 1/2 teaspoon of sodium bicarbonate, baking soda in brackets. Will do equally as much good as the most costly mouthwash by Dr. August A. Thoman. Tooth powder. Now, who calls it tooth powder? My goodness. Tooth powders consist of magnesium carbonate, calcium carbonate, and sometimes chalk or calcigur. Can't pronounce that. The aromatic principle of either paste or powder is peppermint, anise, or other erythral oil. Oh my gosh. So all this information, helpful hints for the homemakers. Best way to peel onions, hold them underwater. Best way to cook vegetables, fresh. Okay, start with fresh. Best way to draw water for a bath. Oh my goodness. The best way to is just the opposite of the usual way. Running the hot water first causes a formation of steam and increases the humidity of the room. In hot weather, this unwanted humidity adds to discomfort, while in cold weather, it makes one more susceptible to catching a cold. Oh, go figure. The correct way consists of 2 steps. First, allow the cold water to run in the tub until the desired level is reached. Then, shut it off entirely. Second, turn on the hot water. And as it flows, keep mixing it thoroughly with the hot water by using the hand. I guess that's your hand. Hopefully you don't scald yourself either. When the right temperature is reached, you close off the water. Your bath is now ready. Doctors say that the most satisfactory temperature for the usual bath is from 90 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, and most people bathe in water entirely too hot. Oh my goodness. Ice kills, here's a good one. Ice kills taste of bitter medicines. Oh, didn't know that. But anyways, we'll get on with it here. There's Auntie Bessie's cookies. Again, we write down, we just keep recipes and what have you on our phone. Everything had to be written down back in the day. This is a really old book, Banana Chocolate Layer Cake. Now that I'm going to try. And you know, you never know. You can also, you share this with your family and your kids and your grandkids, and you figure, hey, let's try something different. Oh, liver sandwiches. Not going to try. 2 sandwiches. 1 slice of calf's liver, 1/2 inch thick. Cooked salad dressing. Okay. 2 strips of bacon. That's okay. I like the bacon on there. Sliced tomato, brown bread or toast. Now, who would need to put a recipe for a sandwich? Seriously. Okay. Whew. Salmon sandwich filling. Okay, looks like it's a lot of... This is cool. Okay, so... Back in the day, and they still do, we have showers for weddings, like for the bride and what have you. And we have, all these kinds of little get-togethers. And if you're going to have a party and you want games, they got games in here. Winnipeg Streets. So you list out the things, and then the answers are here too. So it's like Winnipeg Streets. The names of 2 nuts. Chestnut, walnut. A slump in real estate. Winnipeg Street, Lansdowne. The name of two oceans, Atlantic and Pacific. These are all streets in Winnipeg. That's too funny. There's no place without Ma. Home Street. Okay, so, here you go. Here's list of names for each letter. Man's names, A. So you got Albert, Brian, Claude. So, I mean, why would, you just keep these as little ideas for your games, for games nights and stuff. Quizzes for youngsters 6.5 to 9 years old. Oh my goodness. How many innings are there in a regular baseball game? 9. A thermometer measures heat or cold, but it says light or weight. So this is, okay. And annual means, and they give you 3 choices: yearly, monthly, and weekly. This is cool, so hey, why not? If you can find books like this kicking around that belong to, your aunts, your uncles, your grandparents, or your mother or father, oh my goodness, this is so cute. I think I'm going to share this with you, Laura, so that you can share it with Sam and Gabe. This is really neat. They might really enjoy this. All different kinds of games, word games. Oh, here's one. Cough remedy. Okay. We're coming into flu season and cold season. Cough remedy. Mix the juice of 2 lemons, 1 teaspoon of water, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and take a teaspoon every half hour. 1 tablespoon of sugar. That's a lot of sugar. But the water and the lemon juice, I mean, hey. Visit to dentist. If mother will take the young child with her to the dentist long before he has any work to be done, and each time let the dentist look at his teeth, and in this way accustom him to the chair, there will be no fear of the dentist when work really has to be done. It is also a good way to keep the young's teeth in good condition, as any trouble will be detected quickly. Oh my goodness. Helpful hints for homemakers. All kinds of stuff here. Words men live by. Oh, okay. Alone is the bitterest word. Mother is the most revered word. Death is the most tragic word. Faith is the most comforting word. Love is the most beautiful word. And no is the coldest word. These great words define your world. Isn't that deep? Oh, love it. Anyways, I am definitely going to pass this along to my grandkids and let them check out these games and recipes. My grandson loves to bake, and so I'm sure he'll get a kick out of some of these. And the household hints and stuff, my daughter will have a good laugh. So, and I'll also share it with my other daughter, Cheryl, as well, because she's out on a homestead, living kind of semi off the grid. So she would sure get a kick out of those too, and actually might get some good tips. I also have another book that I use quite frequently, and this is actually just my lists. And I but I keep track of things I need to do, because my memory is shot. And as I get older and with things, changing on a daily basis with electronics and what have you, I find the easiest way for me to keep track of things is just to write them down. I need to clip Chewy's nails, reorganize my sewing area, bring up my shelves, finish my cot covers, I don't know, list my plans for today. Go grocery shopping, just like a grocery list, but for things I need to get done during the day. Anyways, that was nice. I just wanted to share that with you, that journaling your crafts, journaling your life can be nice. And I haven't done that a lot in my lifetime. But now that I do a lot more crafts and a lot more knitting, yes, I am definitely doing a lot more journaling of my knitting and my crafts. And just like I said, keeping lists of things I need to get done during the day. Okay, so on to my finished projects, my FOs. I was working on them, and I didn't want to show you as I was working on them because they're going to be sent away as gifts, and I'm hoping to get them sent off before I actually post this, but yeah. Anyways, I will post it. So what I've done is I've made Topsy Turvey dolls. I am going to link to the pattern. I used up a bunch of wool. I actually made the girls a poncho, and one of the girls a poncho and the other girl a bunting bag. And I used this sparkly wool, and I used it up, plus some other, other wool. I'll show you the labels in a second. Anyway, so this is one side, and then you flip it over, and there's the other one. Isn't she adorable? They're just so cute. I just love them so much. So I couldn't just make one for each of the girls, so I got one here. And here's another one. And they're all different, just like us. We're all different, and so are their dolls. And I just thought they were too cute. There we go. See, and again. And I didn't even really follow the pattern to the letter when on the actual dresses. I kind of changed it up a bit because I really love this flower pattern. And I've actually got that saved in my playlists. So if you wanted to look for that, it's a flower pattern, and it's so easy, so simple to do, and it really turns out pretty. And with this one, because I just wanted to add in, I didn't want the dresses to be too plain, so I added in some alternating colors and what have you. So that was nice. And this one too. See, this one I did the little flower pattern as well on the bottom, and this one I actually held two strands together, so that made it a little bit nice. My stuff's falling apart here. And this is one I made. This is for, let's see, I think this one is for Sophia, and this one is for Nina, and this one is for their grandma. And she can keep it at her house, and then when the girls come to play, they'll have one there to play with. And this one too, Topsy Turvey. And I actually bought this yarn because I got this already going and then realized I didn't have enough leftover yarn in the acrylic. I really wanted to do it in an acrylic, and it's a very inexpensive yarn. And again, I'll show you the information on that. This one is loops and threads. Yeah, loops and threads. And these ones are a premier yarn. And I just thought that, I wanted it all to be acrylic, so it's totally washable. They can throw them in the washing machine and in the dryer. Mind you, I wouldn't recommend you put them in the dryer or in the washing machine. If you can help it, try to wash them by hand as best you can. But if they get totally mucked up, kids, they gotta touch everything with their chocolate fingers. So anyways, yeah, so she can they can all be thrown in the washing machine and all be taken care of like that and cleaned up like that. So yeah. So those were what I was making. And I was calling them diversity dolls, but I think we'll just stick with Topsy Turvey dolls. Topsy Turvey dolls. And I know you can get patterns on Ravelry for, I think it's a dog in a doghouse, and Cinderella. And Cinderella, one side she's in patches, and then the other side she's all pretty, like all in her ball gown. So you can do that. And there's a bunch more. And I believe that there's a woman who has a book full of these Topsy Turvey style. But this is, I believe, a yarn-sation pattern. And I will link it in the comments below. So yeah, so I've been kind of making these. So, I've kind of lost, like I was saying in my earlier video, I've lost my mojo for making socks. And I guess I'm kind of thinking it's probably because I've been making these guys. And they are so fun to make and so exciting to finish. Like when you're getting to the end, you can hardly wait to see them all sewn up together and finished. And it's just so much fun to make them. And socks can be kind of boring. I hate to say it, but once in a while, and I know lots of people do lose their mojo when they're, ambition to knit socks from time to time. I mean, at least I've heard people that do. And then there's other people who just can't wait to cast on their next pair. And and I'm usually that way too. I'm usually like all over, getting my socks going and stuff. But just lately, I just haven't had it. I just think that, I just think that maybe I'm just on to making toys for a while. Anyways, yeah, so that's what I've been working on, and that's my finished products. I had the yarn in this bag here. I just love this. This came from Joann's. I got this in this, actually a girlfriend gave it to me. She went to the States. It says procrastinating, to defer all other activities besides knitting. Oh, that's too funny, right? Procrastinating. Anyways, so this is the yarn I was using, and I don't believe they have this they have a new yarn. It's the same yarn, but they don't have as many colors as they used to in the old days. It's a Premier Yarns Eversoft, and oh my, it is incredibly soft acrylic yarn. And I got that online actually through Hirschner's. And they had, but if you go directly to the Premier site, you can see and I believe Yarn Canada has it as well. And you can check out all the different colorways they have there. And but I do believe that they don't have near as many colors as they did in the past. So when I was using up a lot of this, I found that I couldn't just go get more. I have to go to Michael's and see what I can put the grab on there. Another thing I wanted to share with you is, and maybe I will make these up, and maybe I'll do them as a tutorial. We'll see. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do a tutorial for this one. I make sock monkeys out of sweat socks. And this year, I was thinking for Easter, I might make, instead of sock monkeys, I'll make sock rabbits. And because this has got a plain sock in it, and that would make perfect ears, long ears, because it's like an extra. So I'm going to alternate it. So I'm going to make, I'll make 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll be able to make 4 sock rabbits, or I can make 5 sock monkeys. But, so we'll see. I think I'm going to cut them up and sew them up, and make them into Easter rabbits instead of Easter monkeys for a change. Anyway, so that's an option. I'm going to get busy making those. And that's about it. That's what I think I gotta get working on some socks, though. It's making me crazy. It just bothers me so much because I do have some lovely sock yarn, and I've got some lovely 3-weight DK weight, and I love making almost like a little bit of a thicker sock with that, just to wear around. And I wear 2 pairs of socks now because I just love keeping my feet warm, and so I'll wear 1 pair with lightweight, and then I'll make another pair of socks out of the DK weight, and they'll be thicker. And again, I just love making thicker weight socks with pure wool. Just got awesome stuff. Anyways, that's about it. Hopefully, maybe I'll get out to Wolseley Wool, to my local yarn shop this weekend coming up, and look for some new yarn, because it's my birthday month, and I believe on your birthday month they give you a discount. So I'm going to look into that. And yeah. Oh, and by the way, at Michael's, I don't know if I told you this, Michael's has 10% off for seniors over 55 every single day on everything, even sale items. Okay? I believe that their special value items, though, they're still regular price. But everything else, I went in, you go get wool or what have you, it's 10% off just for being 55 and older. I didn't have to show ID, but you can bring ID, of course. I would recommend doing that just in case. But yeah, they knew right away. Yeah, I just said, can I get the senior discount? No problem, 10% off my bill, I'm good to go. So on the sale item, even with the 30% off or 40% off coupon, plus your 10% off, you're looking good. Also check with, who else was I saying? Shoppers Drug Mart has discounts. I believe Co-op and Giant Tiger has a discount day. We just really have to start looking into this kind of stuff and getting out there and making sure we take advantage of our discounts, seniors. 55 plus to me. 55 is a senior, I guess. Even though I don't feel like a senior, and I'm not, I'm older than 55. But yeah, no, so take advantage of that. And at Michael's, for sure. I didn't know it. Anyways, so yeah, so take care. I think that's it for today. I think I've gone long enough, half an hour for Together Tuesday. and take care. We'll see you next week.